Bryan. We love seeing Luke on the show. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Let's start with Down to One, the current single and video. So tell us about it.
Yeah, well, obviously the song has been out. For a little bit. We were down to 1 a.m. Making the video, we had to get creative. I mean, I think everybody in entertainment these days is having to get creative. So when we did the Down to One video, we kind of just put me in a studio with a green screen, and we created these kind of celestial moments. And then, you know, I love what we were able to do with the video. I think it certainly tells the story of the song. I mean, in a normal world, I would have loved to have, you know, gotten to go travel and do a video, but it turned out great. Really proud of my director, Michael Monaco, and I'm glad to certainly have an official video out there, so I can take control over the CMT world. Now I can put my stamp on CMT with the video.
More number ones here on Hot 20 than any other person. In fact, you're up to 19. 19 number ones on Hot 20. So will this be number 20, you think? 20th number one?
Is this because of that $20 bill I gave you, 13 years ago and said, help a brother out?
Exactly what it was. And all those trips to the playa as well, yes.
Wow, this is a special day. It's not often that we have two musical legends in the house with us. Dolly Parton and Gibb, welcome to Hot 20 Countdown.
Thank you.
Hello. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Barry, of course, you have this fabulous new album, Greenfields, a collection of Bee Gees classics that have been reimagined with some of your favorite Nashville country artists. You've got Keith Urban on here, Miranda Lambert, Jason Isbell, and of course your friend Dolly. Now you guys have duetted on one of my favorite classic Bee Gee tunes, Words. I absolutely love this song.
In everlasting words.
We're going to talk all about that song and all about the album, but I want to remind everyone at home that you have a wonderful backstory. This is not the first time you've worked together. Barry, you very famously produced Islands in the Stream for Dolly and the late Kenny Rogers, a song that you wrote with your brothers Maurice and Robin.
Right.
I always say nobody forgets the first time they meet Dolly. What was it like working with Dolly for the first time?
Well, she is quite a vision. You know, she's quite a vision when she walks in, and it sort of lays everybody back. But she's such a pleasure to talk to and such an open person. That evaporates real quick, and you suddenly find yourself talking to an old friend rather than someone who actually dazzles you, which she does too.
To be in the studio with two heroes or two people that I really admired and respected was really an overwhelming feeling, and I felt very honored and very privileged actually just to be in their presence, but to be singing on a song as great as that one was. As soon as I heard it, I knew it was magic. It just became such a big hit, and I have just always been so proud of the song, but working with them in the studio that day in itself was a hit.
Dan and Shay aren't daredevils, but they did all their own stunts in the video for I Should Probably Go to Bed. Here's a behind-the-scenes look.
Here we go. This is our first time ever doing stunts in a music video. I really didn't know the practicality of how we were going to do these stunts, but we wanted to execute them and make sure they happened. We're about to fly. What's up, guys? We're Dan and Shay, and we're here on the set of the I Should Probably Go to Bed music video. The vision is for us to be in this house that's sort of flying through the air, 1,000 feet in the sky, floating over a city. But things are weird and shifting and moving around, and we're accomplishing that through some really fun camera trickery. We've got chandeliers all rigged up to sway all at the same time, and when we're doing that, the camera's tilting with the chandeliers. We've also got Shay harnessed up so he can fully tilt completely to sell the movement. The energy of from here to here, that's gonna sell it. Shay is like singing and he like falls back into the bed and it like swallows him up, and then he's in like a new dimension.
You're gonna go from hallway to hit the bed, It's gonna happen like boom, boom, boom.
You're flying on your back.
How do you say Marionette? No, that's not it. Marionette? I don't know how to say it. The
Marionette.
That was it!
Falls through the mattress.
Yeah.
And then there's
falling.
a shot where he's like falling in an abyss.
Can't wait to see how this all comes together.
It's gonna be amazing.
Here with newcomer Parker McCullum, but you already know his #1 song, Pretty Hearts. Congratulations, Parker, on a #1.
My man, Cody, thank you so much, man.
Tell me, what's that feeling like, seriously, for someone who's been working at it for a long time? I know you've been playing honky-tonks in clubs down in Texas for a while, and to finally get that national #1, what's the feeling?
Man, it felt really good. It was kind of the bright spot of the year, too, and kind of a little something to follow as it kept going up. But I think it felt really good, but it was cool to see my parents that proud.
When you wrote the song, I heard that you didn't love it so much, and you didn't even think about releasing it, but were you surprised that it went so far?
I was a little surprised, probably just thinking back to kind of how I thought of the song when we first wrote it. I just remember I wasn't very hyped on it, and when we went into the studio and I was cutting vocals on it, I remember kind of thinking, maybe this is a little better than I thought it was, and so maybe it needs a little more love than we're giving it. And it's great, man. I'm super excited to see how well it's gone.
The video is so great. Filmed in New York City. There's some like sexy, flirtatious scenes in there. Parker, was that hard to do? Did it come natural? Is it weird with the camera being right there? What was that like?
It's definitely, to be that close to someone that you didn't meet until 8 o'clock that morning, certainly has its own challenges.
You've got a big fan and NBA star, Miami Heat basketball player Jimmy Butler. I know he was jamming out on Instagram to Pretty Heart. So what do you think about his singing?
His singing, man, I thought it sounded pretty good. I think he should definitely maybe stick to basketball for now, but if it doesn't work out, he probably has a future over here.
Chris Young here, who has joined one of his famous friends, Kane Brown, for your latest single, Famous Friends. Tell us how this collaboration came about.
I just called him up. I mean, I wish I had a more interesting story than that, but it was just, I picked up the phone and was like, hey, dude, this is one of those times where I've got a song that could be a duet with two guys that's not necessarily about, drinking and partying.
We are celebrating the release of your latest release, is Wild World Deluxe. Now, this is where you actually added 4 new songs to the original album. Talk to us, first of all, about why you released it this way, why this was the best way to put these new songs out there.
Well, I mean, I've with 3 of the 4 records, I've done a deluxe where a lot of times I over-record for records, and I like to take those, if I can, I like to take a few of them that didn't make it and give the fans a little bonus something for the wait, in between the records.
This week, Luke Combs released a new song featuring bluegrass artist Billy Strings called The Great Divide.
The Great Divide.
The timely track focuses on the civil unrest splintering our country and calls on people to unite for the greater good.
It felt like the right time to put this song out. When we wrote it, there were a lot of crazy things going on in the world. There's still a lot of crazy things going on in the world. And I just felt like I had some stuff to say.
We hear you, Luke. Reigning CMA Entertainer of the Year, Eric Church, is certainly keeping busy in 2021. He has announced a triple album collection entitled Heart and Soul, due out in April.
You've got a new EP, Hollywood Gold, out right now, and a brand new song, To Be Loved by You, which, by the way, I love this new song. It is a jam. I feel like it's kind of a sequel to Pretty Hearts, in that, the guy wants the relationship, the woman doesn't. So it's kind of a similar theme, right?
It's kind of the same, asking yourself questions and kind of the whole idea of just figuring it out and life in itself and your relationships and love is a big part of life. It's kind of the main part at the end of the day.
Barry has a wonderful new album out called Greenfields, and he has partnered with Dolly on the duet Words, a beautiful classic Bee Gees song. It's one of my favorite Bee Gees songs. And I understand, Barry, this was the first duet that you cut for this album. So did you pick it for Dolly to sing on?
I never really asked any artist to sing any particular song.
Okay.
I didn't want to do that. I thought any artist should have the right to choose a song they want to do.
Well, I had been singing that song for years. I loved that song. I used to sing along with Barry on the song when it was out. I sang every song the Bee Gees ever did. I would sing harmonies on the parts along with them. But when they gave me the list of songs, the Bee Gees songs, that's the one I picked because I had always loved it. I loved them all, but that one I was used to singing, and it meant a lot to me. It resonated in my voice and in my soul and in my heart. And as a writer, I just loved that particular song. So I said, that's the one I want, and that's the one I got.
And that's how it was.
Barry, that's got to make you feel pretty good to hear that Dolly Parton has sung along to all of your music all these years.
Well, it makes me very proud. It means that someone very gifted knew what we were doing. And you don't come by that easily at all, you know? To hear that kind of compliment or that kind of someone that connected to what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
That's an amazing thing.
I just stumbled across my point shoes that I haven't worn since I was 12, and I'm gonna see if they still fit.
Faith Hill proves she's got all the right moves as she too joined in on the TikTok dance craze.
Extends his chart-topping streak as Better Together becomes his 10th consecutive #1. Luke performed the track at last year's ACM Awards. Luke is now the first country artist in history to have his first 10 singles reach #1 on the Billboard Country Airplay chart.
Yeah, I'm pumped, yeah.
Back in 2018, after One Number Away became his third #1, Luke revealed who he always calls first to celebrate chart toppers.
Well, you got to call mom and dad. Well, usually they get to me first. They're watching the charts more than I am, so they're calling me usually going, hey, your song went #1. I know it went #1, but I always let them think, and they watch this too, so I know they're watching right now, and probably, he's a liar, he doesn't call us at all. My mom is so, she so loves what I'm doing, you know, and so does my dad, but my mom's just right there in your face about how proud she is, and that's a really cool experience. So the phone calls are always good. She always ends up crying, not because the song went #1, because she's like, well, I just wish you'd come see us sometime, you know. So that's kind of a tough call sometimes, as much as it is a good call.
Ashley Shamedy here, joined by our friend Nico Moon. Nico, how are you doing?
I'm great.
Big congratulations to you on your debut single, Good Time. Let me just read the list here. It's a top 10 radio hit, certified gold single, and more than 14 million views on YouTube. So huge congratulations to you. I mean, are you just pinching yourself every day? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling blessed. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's unbelievable. The amount of love and support that I've been getting is just unreal. So I'm very thankful right now. I'm getting to live out my dream.
Now, I gotta ask you, if Good Time goes #1, are you gonna get a #1 tattoo somewhere?
Well, I get my tattoos to, I think of them as like bookmarks to mark momentous occasions in my life. Getting my first #1 is gonna be another big moment. So I probably am going to commemorate in some kind of way. I don't know if I'll get like the #1, but I'll do something. I'll do something for sure.
And Nico, I know during this whole pandemic, quarantine, you've been playing a ton of songs on Facebook, on Instagram, but for the first time, you just played your first live show, socially distant, safe, you know, everything like that in Kentucky.
We just trying to catch a good time.
How was that experience for you just being back on a stage again?
It was amazing. Being able to play for people not inside of the screen was awesome. It was just good to get that feeling of being back in front of people again. That's the whole reason why I decided to go from being a songwriter into being an artist, is to connect with people, you know? And so being able to do that face to face was a great feeling. And I hadn't played Good Time in front of a live audience since it's really, you know, climbed the chart. So that was my first experience, like having the whole crowd like singing along and knowing the song and everything. It was awesome.
Speaking of your songwriting though, I'm not sure if fans know how many hits that you've written for other artists like Zac Brown Band, Rascal Flatts, and you just wrote Dierks Bentley's brand new single, Gone.
It's so much fun to watch Dirk sing it. I mean, his voice is unbelievable too. It's a great feeling. So anytime an artist like that cuts a song of mine, it's just the best feeling in the world. It's, you know, getting this like acknowledgement from someone else on his level feels great.
And I'm sure you've seen the music video for it. Dierks plays a ton of just hilarious characters. Do you have any favorites on there that he plays?
When he's playing MacGyver.
Yes.
That's hilarious. But I love how Dirk doesn't take himself too serious. I mean, he's like Mr. GQ, but he still knows how to have fun, you know, and put on all these goofy outfits. And that's a great quality about him that I love.
Love it. You gotta love the playful side of people.
Kip Moore, who I understand is coming to us from Hawaii.
You are very correct. I've been out here for a little bit, trying to avoid the cold, trying to avoid all the political talk. I'm just away from it all out here.
You know, you could have sent a private plane. I would have socially distanced. I would have been happy to do this in person. I'm just saying.
Hey, you wouldn't even need to be. I probably shouldn't be saying that, but I would have taken you any way. You wouldn't even have to be socially distanced. You could have sat close. You could have done whatever you wanted. I'm fine.
Okay, so next interview, you and me in Hawaii. Promise?
I'm good. I'm good to go.
So do you spend your days there writing songs, or do you enjoy Hawaii? Do you get out?
You know, I can show you a little something right here, Katie. And I've got like 2 rooms full of, if you can see, this is all just like notepads of lyrics. I've got so many songs that I've written while I'm here. I wake up pretty much every morning and I work on stuff. I wake up at like 6 a.m. before the sun comes up, and I start the coffee and I start the pen, and I've got my process. I do the same thing when I go surfing in Mexico, Costa Rica, wherever. And then at nighttime, after a little bit of tequila, I begin the writing process a little bit more.
Okay, so you are getting out in nature during the day and then writing more at night.
I'm surfing all day pretty much. I'm skateboarding, I'm hiking. But in the morning and nighttime, I spend the bulk of my time writing.
I love it.
He's one of our favorites, Luke Bryan, but not one of Blake Shelton's favorites, perhaps. When we talked with Blake recently, he said fans wearing any Luke Bryan gear or merchandise are not welcome at any of his Old Red restaurants and bars. Yeah.
Really? Well, I'll just, you know what? I'll just invite those fans just to come on over to Luke's 32 Bridge right there, 301 Broadway.
He also says,
Luke Bryan, it doesn't surprise me that he has a TikTok account. He is one of the most immature grown men I've ever met in my life. So he probably is on there doing the dances and you know, still trying to learn how to ride a skateboard on TikTok, all the stuff that the 13-year-old kids are doing on there. It does not surprise me in the least.
Well, you know what? I mean, that's what keeps me looking like this. And, you know, that's why Blake looks like an old dried up curmudgeon. He's a bitter old man now, you know.
Right. Well, he's got those, the gray on the edges there. Yeah.
The white walls.
That's